Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This topic is for the class 4th, and today we are going to read our new chapter, that is Adaptations in Different Animals. And before moving to adaptation in animals, we will first see what is called as an adaptation. What is an adaptation? Students, you all know that a large variety of animals are found on the earth. The animals living at different places have different features which help them to survive in any of the chains. And the process of developing these different features to cope up with the changes of the environment is called as an adaptation. For example, students, you know about camel. Camel lives in desert, and we know that in deserts there is scarcity of water. That is, water is present, but it is present in very low amount. So what is the adaptation of camel? That it has a hump over its body in which it stores the water and the extra fat. It can store the water in this hump, and then in the extreme warmness of the deserts, it uses this water from the hump. So this is called as an adaptation. Similarly, different organisms that live in different kinds of habitats have adapted different kinds of chains in order to live in a particular environment. Now students, according to the habitat, animals have been grouped into different groups. That is adaptation to habitat, which is our first topic. According to this adaptation to habitat, animals have been categorized into various groups, and the first one category is terrestrial animals. What are terrestrial animals? Students, terrestrial animals, as you know, these are the animals that live on land. And these animals use their limbs to collect food and to move from one place to another. Students, there are some terrestrial animals, for example, snake. It does not have limbs. So how does the snake move? Students, these terrestrial animals that do not have limbs, they move with the help of muscles and scales that are present on. And most of the terrestrial animals, they breathe through lungs. The examples of various terrestrial animals, as you can see on your books, are fox, lion, cow, snake, etc. Students, now on your book there some questions have been asked. First, name two animals that use their limbs for catching their prey. You have to name two animals that are terrestrial and they use their limbs for catching the prey. You can answer this question, and also to answer the next question, that is name two animals that use their scales for catching the prey. This is your homework and you will answer these two questions. Moving forward, the next category of animals, that is aquatic animals. What are aquatic animals? Students, the animals that live in water are called as aquatic animals. These animals have fins to move around, and the particular thing about the aquatic animals is that they breathe through gills. Students, the examples of different aquatic animals include, this is fish, seahorse, seal and crab. These are the examples of aquatic animals, and you can name another aquatic animals as well. The third category, the animals characterized on the basis of habitat, are amphibians. What are amphibians? Students, these are the animals that live on both land as well as in water. For example, the most common example of this amphibian is frog. You know that frog lives in water well as it lives on the land. That is, frog is an amphibian. Students, they can breathe with the help of lungs and also with the help of their moist skin. These are the examples of amphibians. This is toad, that is frog, this is civet and this is salamander. Number 4th category of animal, that is arboreal animals. What are arboreal animals? Students, arboreal animals are those animals that live on trees or that spend most of their lives on the trees. These animals have some features, like they are having a long tail, like you can see these arboreal animals all having tails, and they have limbs that help them to move from one tree to another or from one branch to another branch. Students, you can see the examples of arboreal animals. It includes monkey, squirrel, sloth and koala. You can see the arboreal animals, that is those animals that spend most of their time on trees. Now the fifth category includes, these are the aerial animals. Students, aerial animals are the animals that fly in the air, and therefore they spend most of their life in air. Like we saw, the arboreal animals spend most of their time on trees. Similarly, aerial animals spend most of their time in air while flying. Aerial animals include bee, birds, butterfly and bats. So this was the different groups of animals according to the adaptation to habitat. That is, we had terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, amphibians, arboreal animals and aerial animals.